Understanding your benefits, a more complex look into medical plans. Different benefits apply towards different services. For example, you may have a $50 copay for an emergency room visit, $20 copay for a primary care visit, and $50 copay for a specialty physician visit. Your benefits for high-tech imaging may apply toward your deductible, while an X-ray applies only toward your coinsurance.
And your benefits toward home health may be covered at 100%.
The thing to understand here is every service has its own benefit. Not everything is covered under one copay or set deductible. And if that's not confusing enough, these benefits can apply differently based on the location of the service. Let's say you fell and hit your head. You go to urgent care and they do an outside order for an MRI. Your benefits may cover an MRI performed at a radiology center at 100%. But if it's performed at an outpatient hospital, your benefits may apply a $250 copay. Or if it's performed at a specialist's office, your insurance may apply a $100 copay. So where you receive medical services can dramatically change how your benefits are applied to the service. The benefits of being in a global period. The period of time after surgery is called a global period. What this means by insurance standards is that payment towards your surgery automatically covers all post-operative care, hence, global care. There are two different time frames of this global period, and it's determined by the style of surgery. If you had surgery percutaneously, meaning through the skin like a needle or puncture, the global period lasts 10 days. But if you had surgery by incision, meaning the doctor cut you open, the global period lasts 90 days. When you visit a doctor within your surgical global period for post-operative care, you won't have to pay anything, no copay, no deductible, no coinsurance. However, if the doctor orders additional testing, imaging, or anything else while you're in your global period, your regular benefits still apply. Let me explain. Whatever the surgeon does is covered by the surgical global payment. This is why you don't have to pay anything. But if the surgeon orders lab work, the doctor doesn't draw the blood, a nurse or technician does. If the surgeon orders imaging, the doctor doesn't take the images, a nurse or technician does. So think of it this way. The nurse or technician working in the lab or radiology unit did not perform your surgery. They are not part of your global period, so your insurance benefits still apply like normal. Now let's say you visit your surgeon within this global period for post-operative care. However, out of convenience, you make a complaint of a different body part that was unrelated to the surgery. Your regular benefits will apply to that visit because it required the doctor to provide treatment outside of post-operative care. This applies the same way to a wellness visit with your primary care provider. Most plans cover wellness visits at 100%, so if you go in for a wellness visit but request treatment for something outside of routine wellness care, the visit is no longer considered a wellness visit, and your insurance may apply your regular benefits toward that service, like a copay or deductible. The tier system. Some benefit plans have a tier system. So not only do services have specific benefits that could be applied to specific locations, but some plans have tiers for specific doctors too. Tiered plans are typically offered to employees that work within large health systems. That way, if you seek treatment within the health system under which you are employed, you will receive big discounts from your insurance. There are typically 3 tiers. Tier 1 is going to be applied to medical services within your employed health system. Many services will be covered at 100% by your insurance, whereas others will have lower copays and smaller out-of-pocket expenses. To paint a better picture, let's say you work in a health system called Johnson & Smith Health. They have locations all over the state. You work in one location as a phone operator. Even if you travel to another location, still owned and operated as part of the Johnson & Smith Health system, your medical services will be covered under Tier 1. Tier 2 is going to be your physicians that are in-network with your insurance and work outside of your employer's health system. The co-pays are a little higher, as are the deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses. Tier 3 is going to be your physicians that are out of network with your insurance and work outside of your employer's health system. Again, copays, deductibles, and out-of-pocket expenses are going to be at their highest on this tier. Managed care plans. These are the plans that are very restrictive. They typically do not offer out-of-network coverage and may make you jump through hoops to determine if your doctor is in or out of network. These plans draw in members by offering cheap premiums and advertising great coverage. However, when they talk about coverage, they mean services only. They're not advertising that they have only a few select doctors in network with the plan. A great example of a managed care program would be state-specific Medicaid plans. If Medicaid is your only insurance, then you may have already learned you can't leave the state in which you live to seek medical treatment. But there are regular HMO plans that do the same. Some HMO plans will not cover doctors outside of the state in which you live. And there are some managed care plans that don't allow you to pick your own doctor, even if the doctor is in-state. Let's take Wal-mart, for example. Wal-mart is a self-insured company bypassing traditional insurance operations and negotiate with big medical facilities. What this means is that some medical services may have to be provided by very specific doctors in very specific locations. This may require you to leave the state for help. On the plus side, the insurance will cover your travel. So even though you don't get to pick your doctors, all your medical services and other expenses will be covered by the plan. Benefits are complicated. Even your doctor's office may quote the wrong benefits for scheduled services. But never hesitate to call and ask your insurance questions. They are there to help, and it's okay if you're not sure what questions to ask your insurance. The best place to start is by answering this question.
What would you like to know?
The insurance representative will guide you the rest of the way. Like and subscribe if you found this information to be helpful. Leave any comments below with questions or helpful stories. Thank you for watching.